The member for Miramichi East.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's been a few weeks since we got the blowing news from the Minister of DTI that the department is cutting the sidewalks from the Centennial Bridge. This comes along with a stream of severe cuts from the whole government, and like the pattern of cuts we're seeing, this not only puts a negative effect on our communities, but it's putting people's lives at risk. The people of Miramichi deserve the independence to safely walk across that bridge. We have made great strides to overcome challenges people have with transportation. The lack of transportation is talked about in most all of our departments and all of our meetings, and instead of pushing to knock down those barriers, this government is knocking down people's independence. I remember the Minister of DTI sitting on this side of the floor advocating for my bridge and my riding as the critic for DTI. So why now that he is on that side of the floor and he can make the difference, is the Minister ordering this dangerous and reckless cut to an essential bridge and sidewalk on our bridge? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I recognize the Minister of Transportation and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thanks for the question. First of all, the sidewalk was not part of the scope of the project. Your government had 6 years to do so, to put it into the scope of the project. It was never put in. It was never budgeted for. That being said, the priority here is to get the 13,000 vehicles that are currently using the bridge across safely, and to do so quickly. That bridge needs to be finished. We need to complete the project. So that being said, I would be more than willing to engage the community on transportation solutions for the community, and that's something I would be more than willing to do.
The member for Miramichi East.
It needs to be in there, and it was in there, and we were in the meetings to prove it. The Minister has talked about the high cost of the sidewalk, which is quite rich coming from a government that's increasing the deficit over $3 billion in the next 3 years. He also mentioned in my last question about me being an engineer. Well, Madam Speaker, I'm not an engineer, but the Minister certainly has them in his department, and they're the same engineers that did have our sidewalk in our plans for the bridge. The northern alternate route is another important issue in Miramichi. The MLA for Miramichi Bay-Niguac was very outspoken for months before the election on how he was going to stand with the Miramichiers on the bridge and the northern alternate route, but has been pretty silent since the election, except to suggest people can walk outside the white line and across the bridge, which is really safe. So, Madam Speaker, my question is about the northern alternate route. Where are we with the plans of that, and what is being done right now to start the construction?
Je reconnais le ministre des Transports et Infrastructures.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you again for the question. The northern alternate route is something that's been ongoing for quite some time now. We've been in discussions with the community about just how that would happen and what form that would take. And as a matter of fact, as I said before, I'm more than willing to engage the community. We do have a plan to have a public session in Miramichi to discuss with the community just where they would like to see that northern bypass or northern alternate route go, and just what shape and what trajectory they would like it to take. So again, more than willing to engage the community on transportation solutions for that area. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I recognize the member for Miramichi East.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The last discussion came with the closing of a sidewalk, so I'm not really looking forward to the next one. My city says different. They're not hearing from the minister at all. So that's not a very promising answer, Madam Speaker. Over the last few years, Miramichi has finally been seen and heard and had more growth in funding from our government than it has in a long time. And we would love to know how the MLA for Miramichi Bay-Niguac feels about his government stripping and cutting the progress we have made over the last couple of years. We are holding a bridge walk this Sunday with a barbecue, and I invite the Minister of DTI to come and join us. And I truly hope the member of Miramichi Bay-Niguac joins as well, because we could use his voice. So my last question is about another bridge in our riding, and it's the Anderson Bridge. The new bridge is due to be completed soon. In the fall of last year, our government, in partnership with the ATV and Snowmobile Federations, made an announcement that the old Anderson Bridge would be open to ATVs and snowmobilers when the new bridge is completed. This will open up an incredible tourism opportunities, not only for our community, but will be a major link for the entire province. Can the Minister tell us where?
I recognize the Minister of Transportation and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thanks again for the question to the member opposite. You're absolutely right. The Anderson Bridge should be open this fall, and very proud of the fact that we were able to get that moving after it had been stalled for so long. Same with the Centennial Bridge, which had two years of contracts canceled, and so we need to get these things done. It's important that we get these projects advanced and that we get traffic moving. As for the former bridge, there has been no decision made on that bridge. I believe that there has been some contact with the ATV Association. I'm not exactly 100% sure where those discussions are going. I have spoke to staff, and they said that they've been talking with the ATV Association. I don't have the exact details of where that is, but there's certainly been no decision made on the former bridge. Thank you.